Hello, Aquarians. Welcome to Souls Intersect. I have your New Year 2017 Intuitive Tarot reading. So, what I've done is meditate on the 4 quarters of the upcoming year, and we'll basically be going clockwise, where the top is going to be referencing the first quarter, and then to the right, the second quarter, and so on. The card at the center is going to be a general theme or underlying message. We'll see what intuitive messages come through as I start this. So, as you know with my monthly readings, if you've watched those before, I don't usually do exact spreads like this, so I may reference some of the other cards in the spread as I move around. But in general, because I've meditated fairly deeply and have asked for messages about these 4 quarters of 2017 for you, I feel that the energy should be fairly well concentrated to deliver at least some general messages about those time periods. Okay, so at the center is the Ace of Swords, which is beautiful for you, Aquarians. It is in your element and is very much about a new beginning and clarity and that triumphant, victorious feeling. It's interesting that the first quarter shows a rebirth with the Death card, and then the King of Swords, which I feel is referencing you in your mastery, like the optimal version of you. And so what I'm sensing is something that a lot of people do around the new year is to kind of leave some things behind them, maybe old baggage, maybe develop a new outlook, and try to go forward with newness in some way. I feel that that's going to be especially strong for you between 2016 and 2017. So again, that, things like New Year's resolutions, just kind of leaving behind something that happened in the past or just ways of thinking and moving forward, that's very common. It just feels like it's going to be an especially powerful year for doing that. I feel that you have a better chance of achieving what your goals are, your new goals for keeping New Year's resolutions, things like that. But I'm really drawn to the swords because I feel that it's you feeling like yourself. It really feels like clarity in who you are for some of you. Like maybe even moving into the new year, promising to be yourself, as simple as that. And however that speaks to you, it feels like you will be successful in that, or there's really good energy for you to master that. And also a couple more messages that are to do with new ways of thinking, or a new outlook, at least a new mental outlook. So maybe leaving behind types of thinking that may be more destructive or that you feel weaken you or don't resonate as well with you, that you don't think bring out the best in you, and embracing new thinking that will bring out the best in you. I also sense that for some of you, it's referencing that sword energy, the Ace of Swords, as more of a truth, coming forward with a truth. So for some of you, you may be putting to rest silence about something with that Death card and coming forward about something. I know it sounds sometimes kind of eerie or daunting when we talk about coming forward with a secret or something like that. It doesn't have to be that mysterious or that intense. It just may be something that has been brewing beneath the surface that you haven't quite shared yet, even an idea that you're going to decide to come forward with or pursue. But it could be something that you've been hiding for whatever reason, though. Again, it doesn't have to be something, malevolent or anything like that. It can just be that you have not been ready to share something with someone. It can even be feelings for someone. And you're going to decide to come forward with that communication for better or worse. That's kind of the message I'm getting with that. So looking at the second quarter of the year, so this would be more April, May, June, that's the Magician card and the Queen of Rods or Queen of Wands. I am sensing that this queen is another person. It can be female. It may be male for some of you. Maybe a fire sign, but that doesn't have to be the case. It could very well, it just feels like someone who is, I'm picking up on a strong sense of humor, a positive influence in your life. For some of you, it feels related to work, someone that may come through. I do sense that they may have a bit more of a authoritative energy. So maybe some kind of a new supervisor or someone who's just collaborating with you, beginning to supervise you, beginning to oversee something, but that you get along with well. They just happen to have more expertise. They might not even be in an authoritative role, but I feel that they have more expertise in something that you're pursuing, and they're going to help you develop the tools for that and help you manifest something that you want to pursue. I also feel that this could be a connection, a friendship outside of work, or a romantic connection. And in that interpretation, I feel that the Magician is coming through as something that you have been preparing for and manifesting. I have some different views on manifesting. I don't necessarily think we can wield exactly what we want, because I think sometimes the universe has in store for us something that may be better for us. But I do feel that we can prepare ourselves, we can ask for things that we want more specifically, and even demand them, and that we'll at least get it in some form. So that's kind of how I see manifesting, and I feel that this Queen of Rods can be someone coming in that you have been asking for in that sense. So again, it could be romantic or friendship, and it feels, there's a lot of that yellow energy. It feels very sunny, very positive, cheery, and definitely a positive influence. Let me see if I can pick up on anything for this quarter, anything more. Okay, I feel that there's a connection between the Magician and the Emperor as well. So I'm going to move on to the third quarter, and then I will make the connection. With the Emperor and the Two of Pentacles, I do feel that there is going to be either a collaboration of energy and also possibly money, or just coming together in a partnership, something related to work. And I sense that the Emperor is where it's going to be the period of time in the year where a lot of the logistical things, or maybe it depends on what type of project you're doing, and it's tough with a general reading, but I sense that there's going to be some logistical things that have to do with planning, possibly permits, things like that. For example, if you're beginning, like opening a shop or something, there could be permits involved, leases, loans, things like that. I'm sensing that this is where some of those things start to figure in. And I'm connecting it to the Magician card because I feel like that's maybe where the idea begins. So a lot of work-related stuff in the second and third quarter. In relation to, for those of you where the Queen of Rods is more of a friendship connection or a relationship connection, I feel that there may be a collaboration in the third quarter of the year, possibly moving in together, possibly even marrying. So I don't think it's necessarily that you might meet someone in the second quarter and then marry them in the third quarter. I feel that it's someone that you may have known, and things just start to come to fruition in the second quarter, and then maybe planning at least starts in the third quarter. So that's going to be for a few of you, with there being the Emperor card there and the Two of Pentacles. In terms of relationships, it really does feel like it will be joining finances, moving in together, that kind of step to take. But again, it could also be joining those things for business purposes or for a project. Okay. And in the fourth quarter of the year, we have the Two of Cups and the Empress card. I definitely sense that for some of you, there could be a coming together, a deepening of this relationship, especially if you've moved in together or taken it to the next level in some other way. The furthering of taking it to the next level could very well happen in the fourth quarter. So, for example, if there's an engagement in the third, it does feel like there could be a marriage in the fourth quarter. And this definitely would only be for a few of you. It may even be just speaking to one person in particular. that's a pretty specific message. But there's definitely the energy throughout the year of coming together, agreeing to be partners, collaborating, joining, taking it to the next level, and maybe even nesting and planning for a child or pregnancy with that Empress card. So that it could be specific and literal for some of you, as I said. That could also be symbolic kind of energies that are with you throughout the year. That's why I felt that they could also come into play in terms of work. So, that kind of collaborating and taking things to the next level, birthing something in the work or project sense. It just feels like a very productive year, and a year with a lot of potential to really get things moving. And when you set a goal to accomplish it, if you felt at all, I'm getting a message that, in 2016, it may have felt more like more ideas, or maybe even trying to come together with someone and not quite being able to make it happen. It does feel like in 2017 there's more potential for goals to actually be accomplished and for the things to actually come to fruition. It doesn't feel like there will be as many blocks or as much of that stagnant energy. And the Ace of Swords speaks to that in a way too. It brings in that parting of the clouds. You see it more in some other depictions, but you do see the clouds here as well. Something that pierces through the clouds and brings clarity. And to me, that signifies that kind of energy where, as I mentioned, when you set a goal, it feels like you'll be able to come through those blocks, to part those clouds, to really to come through and to achieve more so than maybe last year or in recent years. Okay, let me see if I pick up on any other messages. I do see the two twos, and I was reading them as, so the Two of Pentacles in the third quarter and the Two of Cups in the fourth quarter, and they were really feeling like the coming together and the collaborating, but I'm also picking up on decisions as well. And I sense that there may be some chance to formulate some kind of decision involving the general thing is choosing between work and something emotional. And what's interesting is the way that this is laid out, because we do have the time frames, is that the third quarter seems to be better for something emotional, and the fourth quarter seems to be better for something, I reversed that. The third quarter seems to be better for something more practical, more logistical, more work related, whereas the fourth seems better for relationship or emotional. So the way that I want to give that message is that if around the third quarter it feels like you have some sort of a choice, and this could pan out differently for different Aquarians, if you feel that there may be a chance to indulge in something that's more emotional, where you'd be putting aside something work related, but you kind of have a choice, it feels like try to get the work out of the way first. I'm kind of getting this work and play vibe. I definitely encourage you in the third quarter to get the work done, to kind of do your homework, to get that out of the way, to make room for more relaxing and fun, enjoyable, pleasant, more of the emotional energy in the fourth quarter. So if something comes along that kind of gives you that choice, and you almost feel like the energy that I'm getting, and the message I'm getting, is something along the lines of a shortcut. Like you might almost feel like, hey, I could not do this work right now and actually indulge in something else, something that suits my emotions a little bit better, and then move on in the fourth quarter. It might feel like, at that point in a couple months, and deal with whatever this work thing is. I would advise against that. So I would advise, again, trying to get anything practical, logistical out of the way in that third quarter, because it's the fourth quarter that leaves you a lot more opportunity, where the energies are a lot more supportive for indulging emotionally, for nesting, for harvesting your gifts, and for it just feels a lot more like comfort and relaxation. And I think that you would be grateful to have gotten work out of the way in the previous months. All right, Aquarius, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you are watching this and it's still December, check out my website for my holiday specials. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. Thank you.